Piyush, a non-resident Indian, returned to India on 12th June 2018. So he has returned to India during financial year 2018-19 for permanently residing in India after a stay of about 20 years in UK. Provides the following sources of income and seeks your opinion to know about his liability to income tax thereon in India in assessment year 2019-20. So what has happened here is that Piyush has actually come to India on 12th of June 2018, and we are talking about financial year 18-19. So he is asking how is taxability going to be there for some of his income which we are discussing. For the last 20 years he has been in the UK, which means his stay in India for each of the last 20 years was 0 days. Now we all know that the taxability of an individual is decided by whether he is a resident or a non-resident. If you look at it, we are talking about financial year 18-19. He has been in India from 12th of June 2018 onwards, which means he has been in India. Let's say if we just take the period after June also, it's 9 months, which is more than 182 days, and therefore we can say that he is a resident of India. Why? Because he has been in India for more than 182 days during the relevant previous year. The next question which comes up is whether he's an ordinary resident or a not ordinary resident. Now there are two additional conditions which basically decide whether an individual is an ordinary resident or a non-ordinary resident. Both these conditions require that he should have been at least in India. So actually not both, one of the conditions require that he should be in India for a period of at least 730 days during the preceding 7 years. In this case, because he has never been in India, he is not satisfying that additional condition. So he is a resident but not ordinary resident in India. In the case of a resident and not ordinary resident, income which is accruing or arising in India or is deemed to accrue or arise in India is taxable. What is also taxable is that if there is an income which is accruing or arising in India in respect of a business or profession which is controlled from India, that is also liable to tax. So in all these aspects, what we need to figure out is two aspects. Is the income accruing or arising in India, or is the income received in India? If either of these two things takes place, it is taxable in India. Once an income is taxable in India, then the deduction etc. which are receivable is something which is going to be normally available to Piyush. So let's look at each of these individual things. We are not required to do a detailed computation. We just need to put forward a view on whether these incomes are taxable or not taxable. Income of a rent of a flat in London which was deposited in a bank there. The flat was given on rent by him after his return to India since July 2018. So there is a flat which is outside India. If the flat was in India, then basically the income would have been deemed to accrue or arise in India. In this case, because the flat is outside India, therefore the income is not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Has the receipt happened in India? No, because the money was deposited there. So even the receipt is outside India. It doesn't matter when the flat was given on rent by him. Since the accrual and arising event as well as the receipt event is happening outside India, this income is not liable to tax in India. Now let me also explain to you, had it been that he was actually a resident and ordinary resident, then his global income would have been taxable in India. In that case, we would not have wondered where the flat is, where the money has been received, but this would have been liable to tax in India. But because he is a resident and not ordinary resident, therefore we'll need to figure out whether the income has been accrued or arisen in India, or is deemed to accrue or arise in India, or is received in India. Dividend on shares of 3 German companies which are being collected in a bank account in London. Of course, the dividend income which has been received in an account in London is in respect of a foreign company, again, that is something which is going to be accruing or arising outside India and also received outside India. Therefore, this again is not going to be taxable in India. He proposes to keep the dividend on shares in London with the permission of RBI. It doesn't matter where he keeps the money. As long as he's complying with the relevant regulations, that's fine. It doesn't make a difference from a tax perspective. What is relevant from a tax perspective is where is the income accruing or arising, where has the income been received. He has two sons, one of whom is 12 years. Both his sons are staying in London and not returning to India with him. Each of his sons is having an income of 75,000 not received in India and 20,000 in India. So there's an income of 75,000 which is received outside India, and there's an income of 20,000 which is received in India. What is received in India is going to be taxable in India. Correct? So the other part which you need to know here is that you are given that the age of one son is 12 years. Yeah. So we can assume that the other son is actually a major. If he is a major, then his income will be taxable in his hand. So let's say the first son is 12 years and the other son is 20 years. For the one who is 20 years, the income is taxable outside India. It doesn't make a difference. But for the one who's 12 years, his income will be clubbed in the hands of Piyush. But income will be clubbed only when it is taxable in India. In this case, that 75,000 what has been received outside India in the UK and also not received in India is not taxable in India. But 20,000 which is received in India will be clubbed in the hands of Piyush. And he is going to get a deduction of rupees 1,500 from such income. So there will be a clubbing of 20,000. There will be a deduction of 1,500 in respect of a minor child, and the balance 18,500 will be taxable in the hands of Piyush. During the preceding accounting year, what does this mean? Preceding means what? Let's say if the current year is 18-19, then this is 17-18. When he was a non-resident, he had sold 1,000 shares which were acquired by him in British pound sterling, and the sale proceeds were repatriated. The profit in terms of the British pound sterling on sale of these shares was 175% of cost at 37,500, while in terms of Indian rupees it was 50,000. First, I need to see whether this income is taxable in India or not. In the preceding accounting year, if you go back to 17-18, the stay of Piyush in India was 0 days. If his stay was 0 days, he was a non-resident. For a non-resident, income arising from sale of shares of a foreign company is not liable to tax in India. Therefore, this amount of capital gain, whichever it might have been, whether it was X, whether it was Y, we're not getting into what is the profit in British pound sterling, what is it in Indian rupee, but this profit was something which will not be liable to tax in India because he was a non-resident. For a non-resident, income accruing outside India is not liable to tax in India. I hope all these points are clear with you. This is one thing which you might have studied as a part of your paper 7 also, but I hope I have been able to explain this. In case there are any issues, you can join our Telegram channel and post your queries there.